Lance Brown here, and I just wanted to respond to your post where you differentiated Gestalt theory and existential theory. I really appreciated you putting the time and effort to really delve into the differences and the similarities. And I tend to agree with you that there's usefulness when applying both types of theory in a given circumstance. You talked about kind of those measurable outcomes and how to measure those out so that you can have some consistency. But at the same time, with these theories, since it's tailored to each individual and you can't quite project or time what that's going to look like for a cookie cutter therapy, it does become hard to measure those outcomes for existential therapy and Gestalt therapy. One other point that I think that you mentioned, which is helpful and useful to digest, is that with existential therapy, it does echo Solomon's words, I think, and those sentiments, really bringing up death, life, and sorrow, and kind of those harder concepts of life that aren't talked about too much. But there's a level of maturity that needs to be applied when discussing existential questions with a client, because not all clients are going to be at that maturity level. So kind of engaging the therapy based on the client is helpful. Similarly, being able to gauge and weigh what therapy used with the client for Gestalt theory, you don't want to come off too intense to provoke emotions that may cause the client to be put off or not ready to address. I do think that the use of confrontation is helpful when applied appropriately. So being able to utilize both theories, I think they're good tools to have in our tool belt, but at the same time need to be done with a measure of wisdom, which can be only provided by the Holy Spirit. Just as you mentioned, the type of love that on a therapeutic secular level, it doesn't quite cut it in comparison to that agape love that Christ wants us to show through the Holy Spirit. All in all, with these two theories, I think good tools to have in our tool belt, but to be led by the Holy Spirit ultimately on how to implement and use them. So thanks again for your feedback. I appreciate the time that you spent with it. Thanks. Bye-bye.